you guys. So today I am going to do actually a collaboration with two of my besties here from YouTube. So we are all going to be doing a top 20 products under $20, and there's 3 of us all together, so that is a total of 60 products that are all cruelty free, and 40 of them will be all vegan, even though some of mine are probably vegan, I just don't know about it. But I'm doing this in collaboration with XoLoveLeti here on YouTube, and then one of my best friends, Jess, VeganBeautyAddict here on YouTube. You probably follow her on Instagram, and make sure you subscribe to both of them here on YouTube. I'll link both of their Instagram pages and their YouTube links down below, so go follow them, and I'll post their links to their video down below as well. But again, they're both vegan blogs, so you'll find out 40 products that are under $20, amazing and vegan, and of course I am cruelty free, and like I said, a lot of these are probably vegan, I just don't know about it. But anyways, I tried to pick out some products that I don't normally talk about. You know, a lot of the stuff that I talk about is actually under $10. A lot of the stuff that are like my ride or dies are between the $3 to $8 range, I would say, or sometimes up to $10, but I try to pick out some products that I don't normally talk about or haven't talked about in a while on my channel, so that way you guys kind of get a little bit more from me. I have a feeling we are going to overlap with a couple of these things because there are some products that everybody agrees are freaking bomb. So please excuse if some of us talk about the same products, but that means it's probably really good, and you should probably try it right now. Also, I just want to say a quick thank you. Today I hit 20,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, and I cannot believe it. So thank you guys so much for subscribing and being here with me and loving my channel and loving me, because I love you, and I'm just really happy. So I just wanted to say a quick thank you. But anyways, this video is going to be long, so let's get into the top 20 products under $20. Okay, I have this big fat thing full of makeup. Let's just dive into it. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about are the Makeup Geek pigments. Now, one of these pigments I have definitely talked about 1,005 times on my channel, and that is the Makeup Geek pigment in hologram. If you guys have watched my videos, you're probably sick about hearing about this, but it's one of my favorite colors ever. In my makeup collection, this thing is one of my favorite items in my entire makeup collection. These run for $9. They're super affordable. You get a ton in here. Another beautiful one is Insomnia. It's kind of like Max Blue Brown, where it has that kind of reddish brown and blue tilt to it. It's super pretty. Chameleon is amazing. This one is like mermaid scales in a jar. It's a beautiful green teal reflect. It's absolutely amazing. And then another favorite is Wildfire, and this one is really similar to hologram, but Wildfire is a little bit more red pink based with kind of a gold reflect, and this one is more of a salmon orangey base with almost a green gold reflect. So those are just some of my favorites, but literally just pick any shades that you like out of that range, and I promise you will not be disappointed. They're absolutely bomb and so good, especially if you're a recovering MAC addict and you really love their pigments, or maybe, you know, a tutorial calls for a MAC pigment or Make It Forever eyeshadow. These are really comparable and just bomb and affordable and cruelty free. Okay, let's get some palettes out of the way. So first I want to talk about the Modern Neutrals palette from BH Cosmetics. This, I believe, okay, so here's the thing, is that BH Cosmetics goes on sale all the time. So right now on their website it's $12. I haven't seen it go for more than $15 though, so I'm gonna say that it's definitely in this because I've never seen it for $20 or above. I got mine for $7. Honestly, subscribe to their emails because they do sales for literally every single holiday ever. Every holiday they make an excuse to do this bomb sale, and yeah, even for $12, if that's the full price, it's totally worth it. These colors are beautiful. If you guys saw my BH Cosmetics haul, I got a bunch of different like shadow palettes. I love them all, but this one for my color scheme and my color preference is my favorite. This is like Dead Girl Glam in a palette. I did a like ultimate Dead Girl Glam tutorial using this palette, so I'll link it down below, but it's just so good. These are pigmented, they blend really nicely. Some of them you have to build up a little bit, but honestly it's so worth it for the price, and I'm just obsessed with these palettes. I think they're bomb. Let's just stick with eyeshadow because I actually have quite a bit of eyeshadow to talk about. This kind of goes without saying, but the Makeup Geek foiled eyeshadows are just like nothing compares to them. Like things will be like a Makeup Geek foiled shadow, but they aren't Makeup Geek foiled shadows. They're so good. These are $10 a piece, so they are a pretty penny. 2 of mine broke when I traveled, and that made me really sad. But these are just insanely packed with pigment and reflect, and they're just so good. I mean, I've had a lot of high-end palettes, and I've tried a few high-end palettes, and like the shimmer shades in those don't even compare to Makeup Geek foiled shadows. They are just like, they're just so good and creamy and reflective, and like just like they're just so bomb. I mean, I highly recommend just like picking up a couple just to have in your collection. You know, maybe pick up a fun shade and then something you'll wear more every day, because they're a little bit pricier, but if we're talking top 20, under 20, this is definitely them. I always sometimes feel bad for talking about more expensive products just because I know me personally, I can't afford, like I have a ton of makeup and I've worked hard to build my collection, but I also pick and choose what I want to spend my money on. And you know, if I can save money here and there so that I can get a little bit more makeup for my money, I'm gonna do that. So that's what I have like in my head when I'm telling you guys about product, is I try to give you guys affordable options, but the pricier options are still really good. And I am planning on doing a like high-end products that are worth the money, like things that I bought that I will spend more money on sort of video. But anyways, I'm just kind of going off on a tangent. Makeup Geek foiled shadows are so good. I highly recommend just, you know, treating yourself to like 1 or 2 or 3 depending on, you know, what your budget can afford, but they are literally nothing compares to them. If I need a pigment, like just like that, just pigment on my lids, I go for a Makeup Geek foiled shadow. I actually have a little bit of this soft gold, just a little bit on my lid, just on the center to add some pop, and then on my inner corners as well. They're so good, and just like 10 out of 10 would recommend. So here's where I'm gonna come in and say that you don't necessarily need to spend $20 or $10 on one eyeshadow, because you could also pick up this guy. This is from Styli-Style. I'm pretty sure Jess and Leticia are both talking about this as well, so I'm sorry if this is like the 3rd time you're hearing about this, but this is the Precious Metals palette from Styli-Style, and these are like Makeup Geek foiled shadow dupes in a palette, and these run for $11.99. You can also use my coupon code, but I have a coupon code, it's Kittysnack, and you get 15% off. It's not commission at all, it's just to save you guys money. But these are really good and perform similar to Makeup Geek shadows. I will say that these aren't as finely milled. They're a little bit, they have a little bit more texture to them. They're a little bit rougher, but they still have beautiful color payoff, and they're really awesome. There's just a little bit more fallout to these, but if that's not something you mind and you really want some awesome like foiled shadows and you're on a budget, highly recommend this palette. I do like all the rest of their palettes. They're from their high-end pack series, but this one is just my personal favorite, and I just love it. Like this opal shade is such an amazing brow bone color. It's just beautiful. So either treat yourself to a couple Makeup Geek foiled shadows or pick this guy up and you're good. Okay, one more eyeshadow thing, and it is the Milani, what are these called? Everyday Eyes eyeshadow palettes. These run for $10 a piece, and these are bomb. Like for drugstore eyeshadow palettes, these are so good. I used this one, I used this one today in, I think this is called Everyday Neutrals, Must Have Neutrals. This is the only things that I have on my eyes today besides that one Makeup Geek foiled shadow that I added just to add a little bit more pop, but I just did this kind of taupey brown in the crease and inner and outer corners, darkened it with this, nope, this black, and then added this kind of shimmery taupey shade to my lids, and then a little bit more of that Makeup Geek shade, and they're so good. They have great color schemes. They have this kind of purpley one, they have that cool toned one, they have warm shades, and they have a rainbow shade, and I think there's another one that I'm not remembering. Maybe it's like greens or something, but they have an amazing color selection. Go to a drugstore that has buy one get one half off. That's what I did. So I got both of these for 15 bucks, and they're just really, really good. Some of the best, like truly drugstore, like where you can find them in a drugstore, not drugstore priced like Makeup Geek is, or I guess not Makeup Geek. You know what I mean? Like things you can find at an actual drugstore. Definitely the best palettes I've tried from the drugstore, hands down. Okay, let's keep with the eyes. Next things I want to talk about are the Kiss Faux Mink Lashes. These are new to my life. You guys know that I've loved Kiss lashes for the past like 2 years. I absolutely love them. I think they're really comfortable. They can be a little like flimsy and hard to work with, but these are so good. So right now I am wearing the Style Gala. They're just like beautiful and wispy and full, and then these are the shade, or this is the shade. This is the Style Noir, and these ones are just a little bit longer but a little bit thinner, and these ones are a little shorter and kind of not clumpy, but like more voluminous. They're gorgeous. I personally will not buy mink lashes, and a lot of the faux mink lashes that I've seen or used have a really, really thick, uncomfortable bands, and you guys know I'm a baby with lashes. If they're uncomfortable, I will not wear them, so I don't usually, but these ones, they have a thicker band, but they're still really, really comfortable. I mean, I can wear these to work, I could wear these out dancing and not be like crazy, like itching at my eyes, wanting to peel my makeup off because of them. They run, I think they're $5.99 or $6.99, so they're under $10 even. I feel like most of the things I'm going to talk about are under $10. Oops. Oh well. But these are just amazing lashes. They're new to the drugstore. I got mine at Fred Meyer, and I highly recommend these. They're so good. Okay, I told myself I wasn't going to talk about these, but like, if I'm honest with myself, like I have to talk about these. I've talked about them in so long, like so many videos, so I'm just going to brush over them. The Makeup Geek contours. You can see I have gone through my warm porcelain contour. I was looking in my bronzer drawer and like through my contours, and I was just like, well, I could talk about this, or well, I could talk about this, but like honestly, these are my favorite, hands down. I was thinking about talking about the butter bronzer from Physicians Formula. I was thinking about talking about my e.l.f. one, or like, nothing compares to these high-end, low-end. They're so good. They're so just like buttery and pigmented and just beautiful. They have something for every single skin tone. The warm porcelain is the best bronzer I've ever tried in my entire life, and this warm contour is the best contour. It's the only contour that I actually feel like looks like a shadow on my skin. They're 10 bucks a piece. I'm sorry. It's literally, I talk about them so much because that should show how much I love them. They're so good. And then I want to talk about Makeup Geek blushes too. Today I'm wearing the shade Love Letter, which I love. It's so pretty. This is not a shade I think you guys would expect me to wear for blush, but it's just a beautiful kind of dusty muted lilac shade. It's so good. The packaging on these, I think it's like 12 or 15 to buy them in the case, but they're $10 if you just buy the pans like separately, like these. These are just all so beautiful and buttery and pigmented. It's the same exact like formula as the contours, I'm pretty sure, because they're just so buttery and pigmented, but not like too pigmented to where you look like a clown with one little brush stroke. They're just gorgeous. Highly recommend them. They did expand their range and reformulate them, and like they were good before they reformulated, and then they reformulated, and it's just like out of this world amazing. Some of the best blushes I've ever used. I mean, you guys know I love Makeup Geek. There's actually quite a bit of Makeup Geek in here. Sorry, not sorry, but it's true. Like, they're one of my favorite brands, and I just love them. Okay, next thing I want to talk about is $20 exactly, so I hope that counts. I'm gonna say it counts. for all intents and purposes it counts. But this is the Lunatick Cosmetic Labs Mystifying Mattifying Powder. It's a little Ouija planchette and it opens up like that. I picked mine up at Fame Expo last year and you guys can see I have used it quite a bit. It took me a while to hit pan though, which I appreciate. This powder doesn't have a lot of kick up, which is really, really nice because it means you don't lose as much product. But this keeps you matte really, really well and it doesn't like give a weird flashback or anything. My favorite way to use this is actually with a damp makeup sponge and I just like, you know, go around in it and I press it into my skin, especially on my under eyes and my forehead and my chin where I get oily. It really like makes your pores disappear. It like just blurs everything, gives you kind of a photoshopped look and keeps you matte. It's really, really nice. And Lunatick Cosmetic Labs is, I believe they're 100% vegan and they're more of like an indie brand, which is always cool. I always want to support like more indie brands, which I'm trying to do. I should do that instead of, you know, instead of like going to Ulta, I should go online more and support the indie brands. You know, support the indie brands. Lunatick Cosmetic Labs Mystifying Mattifying Powder, definitely worth the 20 bucks. It's lasted me a really, really long time and it's just a beautiful mattifying powder. Okay, let's move on to foundations. Yeah, I have a couple foundations to talk about. First, I want to talk about the Sonia Kashuk Soft Focus Satin Matte Foundation because I feel like I hear so many bad things about this. Like, okay, it has a weird smell. Yes, it has a weird smell. That's the one downfall, but the smell goes away once it dries down. I use this every single day. I realized I put this on today and I'm like almost out of this, which, I mean, I didn't buy this that long ago, so that's either a bad thing that it doesn't come with a lot, but no, it has 1 fluid ounce. Okay, it has 0.88 fluid ounces, so not a full ounce, so I guess that's not standard. But it's still so freaking good. I wear this every day. It has a beautiful medium but buildable to a full coverage. It's just nice. It lasts all day on my skin, and I have oily skin, and it just always looks beautiful. Like, it's like been my go-to foundation. And again, I think this is $12.99 or $14.99. It's under 15 bucks, but I just feel like I don't hear that many good things about it and I don't understand it because I feel like it's so underrated. I think this foundation is absolutely beautiful. For those of you guys wondering, I'm in the shade Bisque and it's an amazing match for me, but this is just, I just love this foundation so much and I feel like it's so underrated and I just want to give it love because I love it so much. And then the next is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. Now, I was on the fence about this, but if we're talking like top 20, under 20, like we're talking like affordable, good makeup, if you're looking for a full coverage, like cake face, but not cake face, but like, you know, like beat to the gods full coverage on a budget, like this. It is full on full coverage. The only thing that I had to complain about it was the color range. I'm 01 Creamy Vanilla, but I am not. Like, this shade fits me perfectly when I have self-tanner on. But they did expand their range and they came out with like a shade like 00 that's porcelain, so I definitely want to try that. So I have to mix this with a foundation mixer, but it's like, this is not an everyday foundation for me, but this is like, I'm going to the club, I want to look good, I'm doing a full coverage routine, and I want everything to be covered head to toe. This is the foundation that I use, and it's 10 bucks and you can find it at the drugstore, and I just think it's a great foundation. Okay, next, this is a product I didn't expect me to be talking about, but I'm gonna talk about this. This is the Pixi by Petra Makeup Fixing Mist. This is just a setting spray. I believe it's around 15 bucks. Yeah, so this is 15 bucks at Target, and I bought this a while ago just to try it. I thought it might be a good like Fix Plus dupe, and that's what I love using it for. I love using this for wetting my brushes to make a shadow more pigmented, but I also just love this as just a setting spray, just to set down my makeup if my makeup's looking a little patchy, if it's looking a little like powdery, or if I just want to like refresh through the day. This is a great setting spray. It doesn't make me oily. It doesn't necessarily control my oil. It's not like an oil control setting spray, but it's just a great setting spray. This is kind of, I think, like a boring thing to talk about, but it's something I feel like we all need, just like a good setting spray. I feel like if you have dry skin, you'd really like this because it's nice and refreshing. It has rose water and green tea. It kind of smells like grandma perfume. It smells like roses. I think roses smell like grandma perfume, but if you like rose scented things, you will like this. I just, again, think it's a really, really nice setting spray, and I didn't really think much of it. I was just like, because, you know, I go for my Urban Decay De-Slick setting spray that like keeps me matte all day, but this is still a really, really awesome setting spray if you're just looking to set your makeup and just make it last. That's all. It's great. Oh, let's talk about another Pixi product. This is the Brightening Peach Under Eye Concentrate. Obviously, if you are of a deeper skin tone, you're going to need a different color, but I believe they have an one that's more orange and this one's more peach. This is a dark circle eraser. Like, promise you, this is a dark circle eraser. I just take a little bit on my finger, or I'll take it on, I have a little like domed synthetic Real Techniques brush, and I just stamp it just right where there's darkness. Don't take this like concealer all over in a triangle, just places where there's darkness on your under eyes, and this will counteract that kind of blue undertone. I have like genetically bad under eyes. My dad has them, my brother has them, like it's just in my genes, it's just what I look like. So this really, really helps. I don't do this every day, but just on those days where like you could tell I needed an extra cup of coffee, you know what I mean? Just where I need to just like brighten, or I'm going for a more full coverage look, then I will use this. Or on like kind of light makeup or no makeup days, I'll just take a little bit of this on my finger and just press it in those dark areas just to kind of brighten a little bit, and it works so well. And this one goes for $12 at Target. Okay, last Makeup Geek thing, I promise. I have to talk about their gel liners. Their gel liners are so good, but here's what I'll say is that they're out of stock right now on their website, but I reached out to Makeup Geek and asked them, and they said that they're that they're out of stock right now and they're reformulating them, because they're kind of like reformulating their entire thing. But I have used these to death. I use the shade Mobster for my brows. It's a dupe for the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade, but it lasts a lot longer and you need so much less product. Like, I have used this for so long and they haven't dried up. And the Immortal gel liner, I used to use the black shade back when I had black hair, and then I use the brown shade Mobster for my brows now, and sometimes I'll put a little bit of red liner in the front of my brows to kind of match my hair, but my roots are grown out so much that like my hair's a mess. Anyways, these are $10 and they're amazing. They're such good gel liners, and I highly recommend trying these for your brows if you have brown or black hair. It works so much better than the Anastasia Dip Brow Pomade. You need so much less product. Like, I literally just tap my brush into, like, I'll just like swipe it once into it and it will just go so far for my brows. It is amazing. I love them so much. So keep an eye out on the Makeup Geek website for when those restock, because they're so freaking good. Okay, a couple NYX products. Yeah, let's do that. First one is the NYX Matte Liquid Liner. I'm sure you guys have heard this a lot on YouTube. This is such a great liquid liner. This goes for $7 at Target, so it's really affordable, and this is like matte. I used it for my wing today, and it just has this itty little bitty like wand to where you can really get a precise wing, and it just dries matte. It doesn't shrivel, it doesn't like flake away, it stays all day. It is a beautiful gel liner, and it's really, really user friendly and lasts a really long time actually. And yeah, it's just one of the best liquid liners. Like, this and my Styli-Style Stylist liquid liner are my two favorite liquid liners ever. Next, you guys see this in a lot of my tutorials lately. This is the NYX HD powder in the banana shade. This is a dupe for the yellow shade in the Kat Von D palette. Like, you can see I use a lot of this. This is just a great brightening setting powder, and it's really good for pale skin, because like I've tried like the Bare Minerals Well Rested, and I've tried a couple other like yellow setting powders, but they're too yellow for my skin. This one is amazing if you have pale skin but you want that yellow brightening effect that kind of counteracts dark circles. This is so good. I mean, as you can see, I have hit pan. I use it so often to set my under eyes. It just works really, really well. It also like doesn't make me extra oily, which is really nice. Next is the Real Techniques Diamond Sponge. Now, I know Jess doesn't like this because hers ripped when she washed it. I have not had that problem. I've washed mine twice. It does like stain, but I don't I don't mind that at all because it's just gonna get more foundation on top of it anyways, you know what I mean? But this is $10 and it is so, like, this kicked this guy's butt. This is the original Real Technique sponge. I still like it, but like this is like 10 times better. It's so much softer. It literally feels like you're putting on foundation with a cloud, like with a pile of kittens. Like, it's so soft and squishy and soft, and I just love it so much. Also, it like expands when it's wet. This is completely dry, like completely totally dry. It expands and it gets to be about like that big. Like, it's huge and it applies foundation so fast. And since it's like, I thought this shape would be really weird and I was like, this is just gimmicky, like the shape's weird, but like it's so soft that it can really get into like the crevices of your face really well because it just kind of molds and like softens to your face. It's beautiful. I love this thing so much. I love it better than the Beauty Blender, and I love it better than, or I love it more. I love it more than the Beauty Blender, and I love it more than the Real Techniques original sponge. Okay, next I want to talk about the Colourpop Ultra Satin Lips. Now, everybody and their mom has liquid lipsticks, like matte liquid lipsticks, but I think these are so different and unique, and that's why I want to talk about them, because I feel like not very many brands have something like this where it's a satin liquid lipstick. Especially, I don't know what it is, but it's probably just like the weather over here, but my lips have been so dry and chapped, and so I haven't been wanting to reach for liquid lipsticks because they just will dry out my lips more. But these guys are nice because you get the longevity of a liquid lipstick, not like totally, but it really does last a really long time. It's really like, I don't have to worry about it through the day, and it just lasts really nicely. So here, a couple of my favorite shades are Frickin' Frack, which is almost a dead-on dupe for Androgyny from Jeffree Star. The one I'm wearing right now is Bianca. I am wearing a pale nude lip gloss on top, so this shade is a little bit darker actually than what I have on my lips, but I have this underneath a nude lip gloss. And then Point Zero is one of my favorite shades ever. It's just a beautiful like cool tone brown, but it's not like super like dead girl, you know, dead girl glam. It's not like super like will make you look dead brown. It's just a little bit hint, like it's not a warm brown and it's not neutral. It's definitely on the cool spectrum, but it's not like crazy far on the cool spectrum. You know what I mean? So these are some of my favorite shades. I really love the formula of the Colourpop Ultra Satin Lips. They run for $6 and they're just totally worth it. I love them so much, and there's literally a shade for everybody in that color range. Next, this is like cheap. Like this is like, this could be top 5 under 5. This is the this is the Photofocus eyeshadow primer. This is totally a dupe for the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. I forgot what it's called, but totally dupe. They feel the exact same. They act the exact same. If you have really oily eyelids, this will be your best friend. It's so good. It's just like you barely need any, and it covers both your lids. You literally need like a quarter of a pea size amount. Like I literally squeeze out just like a little bitty bit, like that. Can you even see that? Look how tiny it is. And this will cover both of your lids. I just wasted that. Okay, I'm sorry. It will cover both your lids. It makes your shadow last so well, and it doesn't like totally, you know, if you have like really veiny eyes, it doesn't totally like camouflage them, but if you use that and then set it with a powder like this powder, like the NYX powder, you won't be able to, like, it'll cover more and it'll look good. But it's so good and so affordable. Okay, the next one is one of my favorite products ever. This was in my Ride or Die makeup tag. This is my favorite highlight ever, and it is the Ofra and Dupe That collaboration in You Glow Girl. I also love the shade You Do You. It's just a little bit, like, I think it's more flowering on a little bit more tan skin tones because it doesn't show up really well in my skin tone, but it is still a beautiful highlight. But this one is like made for me, gorgeous. This is the highlight I'm wearing on my cheeks today. It's just a beautiful pinky champagne color. It's 15 bucks, and the Ofra really like always does pretty amazing coupon codes. I know Vegan Beauty Addict has one, so I'll ask her what her coupon code is and leave it down below, but I believe all their coupon codes are for 30% off, which is a generous amount. I mean, most coupon codes are 10 to 15% off, sometimes 20, so 30 is a really generous amount, so it'll be even cheaper than that. Like, it'll be like 11 bucks around there. But I just love that highlight. It's beautiful. It's lasted me so long. If you're a pale princess and want an intense highlight, like I am pretty damn glowy today, and I put on that with a light hand. So it's good. It's so fantastic, and I just can't say enough about it. Obviously, it's like my ride or die highlight. Had to talk about it. Okay, and then I have one honorable mention because it's only $5 more than $20, and I really want to talk about it, and it is the NYX contour palette. This again is $25. So it's an honorable mention. It obviously did not get into the top 20 under 20, but if we were doing a top 25 under 25, this would definitely be in that. It's just a great contouring palette. This is one of the, I feel like one of the first ones that really came out after Anastasia did theirs, like before contouring like really took off. I feel like they were kind of one of the first ones. Again, it's 25 bucks. You can get it at Ulta. You can use a $3.50 off coupon. You can use a 20% off coupon. You can, like, I know NYX does coupons a lot, so you can get this for cheaper. But again, honorable mention. I think this is beautiful. The cool tone shade is awesome. These two warm bronzers are awesome. If you have deep skin tone, this would be a good shade for you. I love mixing these two shades for my under eyes. This yellow is a little bit yellow for me, but mixed with these two are beautiful for pale skin. Same with just this shade to set your under eyes if you are like a porcelain baby. And then this highlighting shade is just like a straight up intense white shade. This is just like an oldie but a goodie, and I mean obviously it is like tattered up. I used the crap out of this thing, so I just wanted to throw in that honorable mention because more products are always more, right? But anyways, you guys, those are my top 20 under 20. So make sure you go check out Leticia and Jess and go give them love, subscribe to their channel, and that is all that I have for you guys today. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what your favorite product under $20 is, because you know I'm gonna try it. But anyways, that is all I have for you guys today. Make sure you go check out their part of the collaboration. I love them so much. They're such beautiful girls. But okay, let's stop. Okay, I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!